Hello all of my dear students, myself Shanghamitra. Today I am going to explain fifth poem from Gulmohar Reader. The name of the poem is Your World, written by Georgia Douglas Johnson. Before going to explain line by line this poem, you have to know who was the poet. Her full name is Georgia Blanky Douglas Camp Johnson, better known as Georgia Douglas Johnson, who was an African American poet, one of the earliest African American female playwrights. Playwrights means she basically wrote play or drama, and an important participant in the Harlem Renaissance. The Harlem Renaissance was an intellectual, social, and artistic explosion centered in Harlem, New York, spanning the 1920s. It is considered to have been a rebirth of the African American arts. So it is called Harlem Renaissance, and she was an active participant. Johnson wrote songs, plays, short stories, and taught music and performed as an organist at her church. She is also known for her collections of poetry, which are The Heart of a Woman, Bronze, An Autumn Love Cycle, and Share My World, etc. Let's follow the rhyme scheme used in the poem. So what is rhyme scheme? Rhyme scheme is a meter or rhyme that is followed in the poem. So here the rhyme scheme is ABCB. So how will you define the rhyme scheme of poem? You just follow the last word of each line of the poem, of each stanza. This poem is divided into 3 stanzas. So each stanza consists of 4 lines. Here the last word of each line, that is the first stanza, that is eat, abide, corner, side. Here just look, abide and side are rhyming words, and eat and corner are not rhyming. So that's why eat you will define as A, abide B, and corner C, and side also rhyming words of abide. That's why you can write here B. That's why the rhyme scheme of first stanza is ABCB, and that rhyme scheme, the same rhyme scheme, is followed by the second and third stanza. What is it? In the second stanza, the last word of each line is horizon, sea, desire, immensity. Here, sea and immensity are slightly rhyming words. Horizon and desire are not rhyming. That's why you can write here A, B, C, B. In the third stanza, the last words are me, breeze, riches, ease. Here, obviously, you can identify breeze and ease are rhyming words. Me and riches are not rhyming words. So here you can write, obviously you can write here A, B, C, B. So the same rhyme scheme is followed by 3 stanzas. Now let's see what type of poem it is. This poem is a symbolical and metaphorical poem. Why it is called a symbolical poem? Because I think in most of the poems some figures of speech are used. What is called figures of speech? So figures of speech are ornamental words that is used in the poem. So here several figures of speech are in English poems, is used in English poem. Suppose metaphor, symbol, simile, personification, antithesis, alliteration, etc. So here two metaphors are two figures of speech are used in this poem. First one is symbols and second one is metaphor. That's why the poem is called symbolical and metaphorical poem. Now let's see what is symbols. Symbols, the word means signs or keywords. Signs means mark. So signs and signs or symbolical words, so keywords. So here two keywords are used in these poems. When you will read line by line this poem, you have to know what are these keywords. You have to identify this. So first one is wings and second one is horizon. Wings here is used this particular word wings is used to symbolize a person's ability, and horizon is used to symbolize a person's goal or desire that he wants to achieve. So here these particular two words are used to symbolize another meaning. That's why it is called symbolical poem. And metaphor. What is metaphor? Metaphor is a hidden comparison. You cannot identify this comparison, but you can imagine. You will imagine deeply. In that time, you can identify. You can think. A hidden comparison is made between two objects. What is it here? Here a person and a bird, bird's flight and the journey of a person is compared, and this comparison is hidden. And this hidden comparison is called metaphor. That's why this poem is a metaphorical poem. But when this comparison is going on throughout the poem till the end of the poem, at that time you can call it extended metaphor, that is prolonged throughout the poem. So here extended metaphor is used. I think it's so difficult because you will just know the first time what is figures of speech, what is symbols, metaphors. Very difficult words for you, I think, but you will know what is it, because in higher classes you have to read in detail about figures of speech when you read any poem at that time. So this is first time, I think difficult, but read several times. It's my suggestions. Okay, next come to the summary of this each stanza. What the poet said in each stanza. At first I am telling a comparison is going on between a person, a journey of a person, and a flight of a bird. So here in the first stanza the poet wanted to say when a person being constrained to something and not being able to succeed in life, the wings here indicates bird, symbolize the person's abilities and how they are not being utilized. So here the poet wanted to tell you have wings like birds, but when it is not utilized, at that time you are constrained inside a narrow room. Here narrow room indicates a narrow world. You are constrained in a narrow world, narrow corner of a world, but you have wings like birds. Next, second stanza. Here the poet discovers a goal that here a person, you can say a person or the poet himself. So here I have said a person, but a poet, you think it is poet or a person. The poet wanted to say in general. The poet discovers a goal. Goal here, destination or your desire that she desperately wants to accomplish. The horizon symbolizes the goal. I have said here the horizon is used to symbolize a person's goal or desire. But you have a desire and you have desire to achieve your goal. You want to achieve it. At that time, how will you achieve? you have wings, but you are constrained in a narrow corner of a world because you cannot utilize your wings. But you have a desire. Okay? In third stanza, the poet dives into accomplishing her goal. She is not held back by anything. She enjoys succeeding. So the poet said in the third stanza, but you have to dive into your desire to achieve it. You have to achieve, you should have to achieve. You think at that time hard obstacles will come in your path, but you have to overcome this to achieve your goal. The poet wanted to say in this third stanza, that's why a person's journey is compared the flight of a bird, how the bird achieves its desire. It's achieved to reach at his destination. The poet here compared a person's life with a life of a bird. Okay, clear? Now I am reading this poem line by line. Your world is as big as you make it. I know, for I used to abide in the narrowest nest in a corner, my wings pressing close to my side. But I sighted the distant horizon, where the skyline encircled the sea, and I throbbed with a burning desire to travel this immensity. I battered the cordons around me and cradled my wings on the breeze, then soared to the uttermost reaches with rapture, with power, with ease. So this is the poem. Now I am discussing stanza wise, line by line. Stanza 1. Your world is as big as you make it. Here, your world indicates a bird's world. Here, you, but symbolically, your world indicates our world, a person's world. Here, the poet said about herself, her world, but the poet said in general. He gives us a universal message. Our world, that is metaphorically compared with a bird's world. Your world is as big as you make it. This poem describes the self potential of a person by using a bird on flight as a metaphor. The title My World indicates that you can expand your world by achieving your goals, by not giving up, not sacrificing. I know, for I used to abide in the narrowest nest in a corner. I know means I hear the poet herself. The poet said I means also the reader knows, and also a bird knows what it does know. A bird knows. He used to abide. Abide means live in a narrowest nest in a corner. A bird lives in a narrowest nest in a corner. Here, bird symbolically means ourselves. So, we live in a narrowest corner, narrowest house. There, we are confined ourselves there. My wings pressing close to my side. Here, the poet wrote that her wings, the poet's wings, were pressed close to her side, which means to say that she has limited her desires as she got restricted by factors like fear, inferiority, and other reasons. But outer meaning is a bird's wings were pressed close to her side, which means to say that a bird is confined inside the nest due to fear, inferiority, and other reasons. But symbolically, it means to us, it means to the poet. But poet said just gives us a universal message. So the poet, not only here the poet, here in generally, here all the people is indicated here. Next, but I sighted the distant horizon where the skyline encircled the sea, and I throbbed with a burning desire to travel this immensity. But I sighted the distant horizon where the skyline encircled the sea. The poet wrote how the goal is impossible to achieve in her first stanza, but here the poet wrote how she tried to achieve her horizon. Her horizon indicates her goals with strong desire. This line indicates, and I throbbed with a burning desire. In the second stanza, she beautifully described the way she achieved her goals. She tried to achieve her goals. So I cited the distant horizon. Distant horizon, horizon indicates the goals, where the skyline encircled the sea. And I throbbed with a burning desire to travel this immensity. Immensity here means extremely large and great world. So by this, in this second stanza, the poet said she tried to achieve her goal. She just left behind all her fear, inferiority, and other reasons, and she tried to achieve it. Third stanza, I battered the cordons around me and cradled my wings on the breeze, then soared to the uttermost reaches with rapture, with power, with ease. I battered. Battered here means damaged or broke something by hitting it hard repeatedly. Here the cordons means obstacles preventing her access to something she wanted. What she battered? She broke her obstacles just came in her path. Actually, in the outer meaning, a bird broke all her obstacles, but in inner meaning, what is it? The poet herself broke all her obstacles, and but the poet, not only the poet, also all the reader, we all the persons just broke the obstacles. The poet here already the poet was successful to break all her obstacles, just came in her path, and cradled my wings on the breeze. Cradled here means let the gentle wind guide her wings. So cradled my wings on the breeze. Here the poet said actually the poet described her own experiences, so she used I and me in all the stanzas. She encouraged the readers by giving them a message to expand their world by achieving their goals. Excellent word choice is used, which will be strongly influencing. So here the cradled my wings on the breeze. Actually, breeze will guide her wings, her desire. The situation will guide her desires. Then soared to the uttermost reaches. Then she just was successful to reach at her destination. Uttermost reaches means places that are extremely far away from where she began. With rapture means happiness, joyfulness, extreme joyfulness. With power, with ease, with ease means easily, and with strongly, power here means strongly, she reached at her own destination just by breaking all the obstacles. And she wanted, by the third stanza, wanted to give a universal message to us by this third stanza. What is this message? She just told through the poem to expand our world by achieving our goals, and to break all the obstacles just which are come in our path, and and after that we should have to be we should have to break these obstacles and should have to reach this our destination. So this is the universal message, and beautifully just compared between a bird's flight and a person's journey, everyone's journey, not only a person, not only poet, everyone's journey. We are facing these problems in our life. So this is a realistic, very realistic poem, not only symbolical, metaphorical poem, it's also a realistic poem. The beautifully she beautifully paint universal theme in this poem. So okay, thank you.